In Coral Gables, just south of Miami, I reached out to Tigrela Gardenia, a nature-inspired mentor and coach, to get insight into how our human experience is intimately linked to even the tiniest sprout.
Maybe like five, six.
Tigrela interview, take one.
So I started working with plants about 12 years ago and really stepping deeper and deeper into the intelligence of plants. How is it that plants are able to do the amazing things that they do? And I realized that I, as a human being, am a part of the natural world. I'm an animal, and I have my connections into the plant world and all these different aspects. And so why is it that our societal norms, why is it that our conditioning has taken us so far away from that natural way of being, that flow? And so when I started to look and understand what it is that plants are doing, I realized that this is our natural state.
Plants are deceptively simple beings, but their lives are very similar to humans. They communicate among themselves, react to stimuli, and adapt to change. Yet, we think of ourselves as unrelated and separate from each other.
The disconnect with nature is this really interesting phenomenon. There was a study done called The Nature of Americans. And what they found in this study was that for American adults, nature is out there. In other words, like I have to go somewhere where it's away from civilization, and that's what nature is. When they asked the children, to children, nature was, oh look, there's like grass growing out of the sidewalk, right? And that's the best example of the disconnection that we have. We try to think of ourselves as like these humans living in these urban environments, and the nature is far away from me. But everywhere I go, nature is around me. So I can see nature, I can be in nature, and I am nature. That disconnection is not just a disconnection with something external to me, it's a deep disconnection with my own nature. We think of plants as objects. We think of the natural world as this commodity, as this thing, rather than recognizing it as a part of me and a part of everything around me. And that is the big shift that needs to happen, that people have to understand who they truly are in order to then understand what I'm here to do.
Yeah, it's the aspect of like healing self to be able to heal communities, heal the earth.
The natural world is a constant shifting of stability and then instability. Because without instability, you don't grow, you don't evolve. So the biggest obstacle is that people want to find balance. But balance is a temporary state, because if you're always balanced, you're never moving. Being in nature changes us fundamentally. So when I spend time in nature, from a scientific perspective, my cortisol levels drop. So 20 minutes immersed in a natural environment of whatever sort. It could be your local park. And in just 20 minutes, my cortisol levels drop by 50%.
How do we tap into the wisdom of the plants?
Step outside of your house and just look down. That's it. Like that's where it starts. Or go to the house plant that you have had sitting there in the corner and probably forgot to water, and just sit and just allow yourself to be open to receive. And I know it sounds a little woo sometimes, but scientifically speaking, it's not, because I start to breathe in what that plant is breathing out. We are already physiologically connected. What happens when we live in a society where everything can be connected and where we can live in harmony with the other beings of this planet?